Hey folks, why haven't you subscribed yet? Tell them, Lily. Hello everybody. So, in this video, I'm going to talk about an upcoming set in Magic. The next set, as far as I know, after this D&D set that has just been released. And if you can hear the crows, they're calling, which is pretty cool because the plane we'll be visiting on this is my favorite plane in Magic. So it's my favorite setting, the gothic horror kind of setting of Innistrad. When I got started playing Magic, the Innistrad block had just ended, the first Innistrad block, and it was amazing. And we were into Ravnica. I played through part of Ravnica to Return to Ravnica, the Return to Ravnica block, and then Theros, and then into cons. Once we were into Tarkir, I'd got the job I had. I worked weekends and didn't play Magic at that time for a couple of years. Then I got started back into Magic. I'd bought some into Origins, I'd bought some into Kaladesh, but in Origins, I really loved Origins. I just wasn't playing, so I didn't buy a whole lot. But then we went back into Innistrad, so I got back into it at that point. So Innistrad, I'll show a few of the art cards here. The style is very, for you, those of you who do not play or may have not played on Innistrad before, the style is very gothic, kind of, and I love it. It's a plane of vampires, where vampires are the ruling class, and there are werewolves, which is another class of, which, you know, have another say, and there are zombies and spirits and things, and so on the last block, the Eldrazi Titan Emrakul had polluted Innistrad with this influence, and unfortunately their savior, the one that the humans themselves had relied on, the angel Avason, had been corrupted by Emrakul and was killed by the planeswalker Sorin. She was in this story beforehand. Avason had been created by Sorin as a way to keep to protect humans, because even though he is a vampire, he saw that the humans, if they were not protected, the vampires' bloodlust and the werewolves would eventually kill them out. So, unfortunately, Avason, picture here, she was unfortunately had to be taken out by Sorin himself, her creator. The first block, or I'm not for sure how they're going to split it up, if there's going to be into a two-set block. All I know is there's two different names. The first one is Innistrad Midnight Hunt, which is going to be the werewolves, and Crimson Vow will center around the vampires. The Midnight Hunt, things I'm hoping for, more werewolf cards, maybe a better mechanic to flip the werewolf cards, because the werewolf cards were transitional. Hopefully more legendary creature cards. There's only Ulrich, who is the only werewolf legendary creature. And I really hope that they play more into the vampire or the werewolf planeswalker Arlene Cord's story. Arlene Cord is very interesting. She is the flip planeswalker. I am very werewolves in folklore. I've always been extremely interested in that, in werewolves and vampires and things of folklore. So hopefully we'll see more and get an interesting story with that. When it comes to Crimson Vows, hopefully we find out how Sorin got out of the stone. So he had been in a disagreement with the planeswalker Nahiri, who had trapped him in a stone. She was a lithomancer, so she basically her magic centered around stone, and she had trapped Sorin in a stone. So hopefully we can figure out how he had escaped his prison. I also want that maybe Sorin's grandfather, Edgar. Now, Edgar Markov has one card. As most of you know, it's a commander card. It's a legendary creature. It was made for commander. It was one of the commander precons, and it's probably one of the best commander precons. It's just amazing. I bought that when it was new, and I absolutely love it. I had a vampire precon beforehand that was Grixis, I think. This one is so Edgar. When Edgar came out, I quickly bought Edgar. I actually own 2 precons from that block, or that release. Edgar and the Ur-Dragon. But Edgar, who lives on Innistrad, he is the first vampire. So Edgar is the first vampire on Innistrad. Sorin is his grandson. Although there is in the story a dispute between Edgar and Sorin, because Sorin created Avason. So I would like to see an Edgar Markov, another Edgar Markov card. Not quite, I'm not saying as powerful as the original, but a maybe one for standard. To see some standard play, that would be interesting. There are rumors of a wedding. The name Crimson Vow implies that as well. So the wedding is said to be set up, is believed to be set up by Edgar Markov, Sorin's grandfather, and there's some speculation that it may be between Sorin and another vampire of a different clan, not the Markov clan, but the Balderan clan. She is the head of the Balderan clan, to the best of my knowledge, Olivia Balderan. Here's one of her pictures. So hopefully, if that rumor is true, that would be an interesting take on that. I'm hoping they do not bring out Emrakul yet. Emrakul is been imprisoned in Innistrad Silver Moon, so I'm hoping that she does not make a reappearance to the story, but she may, because there's also it's been said that the next block after Innistrad is going to be returning to Zendikar, and Zendikar is where the Eldrazi has done the most damage. So, from this point, that's what I would like to see. So now, I'm going to say, there's going to be a spoiler alert here. If you do not want to see a leaked card, you can go somewhere else. But this is here is the leaked card. Now, if you can see, this was actually, from my understanding, this was gotten out of I think it was gotten out of a pre-release pack, or something along those lines. Anyway, it was put in a pack that it wasn't supposed to be in. And if you look, I think it's Lenore Autumn Sovereign, and this one has a unique mechanic that we haven't seen before, called Coven. And if you look at the flavor text, if you can read it, I'm going to read it. It says, she keeps the festival's revels from faltering, infusing the witches' rituals with hope. So, I'm looking at this because Avason, when Avason was created, they had set up a church to Avason the Angel. And with Avason gone, and humans being more exposed, I'm wondering if they're not bringing in a pagan element, which would be interesting. Relying on, basically them relying on older traditions before Avason for protection. So it seems this Lenore, according to the flavor text, is a witch, and they're holding festivals. In pagan traditions, there are a lot of festivals, from Samhain to Yule and others. So I guess we will see how this goes. Like I said, I hope they don't bring Emrakul out in this. I like the Eldrazi, but then again, I don't, as the Eldrazi Titans, but their influence on Innistrad I found rather unfortunate. With Liliana being free from her contract, I'm wondering if she may be there. I'm almost guaranteed there's going to be another Sorin card. And I would say I'm hoping for another Arlencord. Sorin's had quite a few cards. Arlencord has only had 2, and one of those was an uncommon Planeswalker and War of the Sparks. But I hope you all enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Share it if you know people that likes Magic. And you all have a great day.